is Jonathan. Okay, shout out to It is Jonathan. Liam Dicer Piercer. So Liam Dicer Piercer. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right. Lachlan's Gaming and ASMR. I think that's Lachlan's Gaming and ASMR. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, give me your real name, your real first name. I'll give you another shout out or something like that. Okay, so a shout out to those three people and a big shout to all of you as well. Okay, so anyways, I got my lasagna. So I'm starving. Oh man, I can't wait to eat. So good. So like I said, we have a cold snap. And you know what's funny? When I was born and raised in Saskatchewan, I lived there for 17 years, we typically had 40 below winters all the time, and the snow would start in October, it was still there around March, sometimes April, and you get used to it, it's not a big deal, it was just something that you learned to live with, and you dressed for it, you always had a scarf and mitts and something on your head, like a toque or something like what I'm wearing now, and winter boots, and we used to wear like moccasins and stuff like that when I was a kid, and it's funny because you would take your bicycle, put it in the garage or the shed or the basement, usually around October. You wouldn't see it again until probably April, But out here in BC, you can ride your bike pretty much year round, and because the weather here is much more milder, and we don't get as much snow. Now, I'm not speaking for all the province, I'm only speaking for Vancouver Island. The interior of British Columbia and the northern parts get very, very cold. And the further east you go, the colder it gets too. But here on the island, it's not that bad because it's a rainforest. This lasagna, I'm eating like a 3-year-old. This lasagna is very good. It's a very basic lasagna. It's usually the way I make it. Sometimes I'll add spinach to it or stuff like that, but I made it on my cooking channel, and it's there now on my cooking channel. I'm sure some of you have seen it already. But very easy. Not a lot of ingredients and very delicious. So, getting back to the weather. Now that's the big difference about, Saskatchewan, the winters there and the winters here in Vancouver Island. Like I said, I can wear the same type of shoe all year long here. Now, of course, excuse me, if I'm going to go trudging through the snow, I'm going to, I might need something else, something that goes up past my ankles or something, but right now I got some really good, well, I guess I wouldn't call they're their boot, but they're more of a hiking boot, and I wear that. And I wear those all year round, except of course in the summer it's really hot, I wear sandals and, that sort of thing. But out here, like I said, just so much more milder. The way I'm dressed now, I would wear like this type of stuff on a day like today because it is cold. I actually was wearing my winter jacket when I was shoveling the snow this morning. I was shoveling the driveway. Linda decided to take the dog for a walk, and I would shovel. And the snow is just powder. Beautiful for skiing. I'm sure the ski hills are just loving it. I don't have a cold, honestly. It's not nothing like that. I'm just sniffling because sometimes I just do, but I was gonna die. Like, wow. So, like I said, the weather here is just so much different. I can wear, like I said, the same clothes pretty much all year, except when I get like a real cold snap, like right now. I'll have my winter coat on. So that powdered snow that I was shoveling, like I said, Whistler, Blackcomb, all those ski hills would love it. That thing that was just fantastic. You know, anybody that skis would love that fresh powder. And it shovels so easy. You know, the hardest snow to shovel is when it's really, really wet. Man, that's brutal. That's where you can have yourself a heart attack. And I got good winter grips. And my car handles very nice in the snow. It's very good. It's a front wheel drive and go pretty much anywhere. And there's a lot of hills around here too. So. But if I don't have to drive, I try not to. You know, if it's unless I really have to go somewhere, I generally don't, because it's not so much my driving, but somebody else could slide into me. You know. But you know, the funny thing about snow out here is everyone gets in a big panic when it starts to snow. And it's funny because it started snowing last night, and that's been the top news story. Every time you turn on the TV, you know, like the local news, that's the top story. You know, the snow, the temperatures, you know, the Arctic freeze, this kind of thing. You know, and it's just kind of funny. Now, the one real downside to all this is we have a town of about 100,000, and there's actually quite a large homeless population. And so a lot of these people, man, they're out there on the streets. Now they have shelters and warming stations. You know, they open up churches and this kind of thing, or you know, like the local arenas and stuff too. They do what they can, right? And even just having a warming center where you can go and you know, warm up and maybe dry out your gloves and get a fresh pair of socks and a meal, or even a hot chocolate and a coffee, and just warm up for a little while. You know, sometimes that's plenty. You know, that certainly not enough, but I couldn't imagine being on the streets when it's really cold. And yet, compared to some of the other parts of Canada, this is nothing. You know, like when I lived in Saskatoon, the winters could be horrific at times. Absolutely brutal. My partner Linda has a gal pal. Her and her husband moved up northern BC. Oh, where'd they move to? I can't remember, but they wanted, they're like a childless couple. They've never had kids, they've been together forever. And they like to do, like, real sort of back to earth couple. They like to do everything, you know, like just right. You know, they make their own yogurt and, you know, freeze dry this and smoke that. And, you know, they do grow everything fresh and organic. And for snow removal equipment. I've joked many times we have a gravel truck with a blade on the front of it. We have a few more than that, but not much. But fortunately, the main roads always get dealt with first. And they're very good. I mean, the sun's out right now. It's beautiful. But it's supposed to stay cold. Now, that's the thing about, when I lived in Saskatchewan, it stayed cold. So the snow that you got never melted for a long time. Usually when we get snow here, it doesn't last very long. Now we had the blizzard of 96. The blizzard of 96 was, it hadn't snowed that much in 80 years. It was just this phenomenon. It was just, my gosh. I think I made a video about that a long time ago. The kids loved it because they had a lot of snow days from school and all that, but my gosh, it was unbelievable. And for a town like where that I live in Nanaimo, we're just not prepared for that. Not at all. And so right now, like for instance, last night before it even started to snow, Linda goes to Tai Chi Friday mornings with her girlfriend. And she found out last night on the computer when she went online that Tai Chi, they had already canceled it for today. Now that's in a neighboring town called Ladysmith, which is about a 20-minute drive. But Ladysmith is very hilly. Kind of like San Francisco, just straight up, and so I guess that's one reason. Now I can guarantee you, the facility I used to work in, I bet you they had a swag of people phoning in sick. Guarantee. You get a little skiff of snow, and people don't come in. One of the guys I worked with used to tell me that I was a real Grinch because I didn't like snow. And it wasn't that I didn't like snow. I didn't like the fact that when it snowed a little bit, people would just phone in and say that they couldn't come into work. Now, in some cases, that can happen. But you get like just a little bit of snow, you can usually try and find a way to get into work. I mean, there's sometimes, like I said, there was one time I could not get my car to the driveway, but they were able to come and get me. But, it's just kind of funny. I've said many times before, the same people who could not make it into work, if they were at work and it started snowing, they could always get home. They always found a way to get home. It's kind of funny. I got lots of noodles here. But, it's something you deal with. So I can guarantee you they're working short-handed now. And I thought for sure schools would be closed, but they weren't. I'm saving the cheesy top for last. I'm like that when I eat chicken, I save the skin for last. to say. I'm recording this video a few days before you see it. But if you don't hear from me, it's because it's supposed to snow more and that sort of thing. So I may not be able to make some videos, and the reason for that is where Linda and I live is about a 20-minute drive from where I record my videos, because I don't record my videos where I live. I record them in a condo that I bought years ago. I record my kitchen videos here, my cooking videos, and I record my ASMR here. Now, so if I don't respond to your comments right away, it's because I just haven't made it over here to do that. This is so good. You know, I never get tired of lasagna. I never do. Here comes all that cheesy goodness. Oh, that's not too much noise. Now, I did something interesting. I also recorded this is why I don't like using metal utensils. I recorded a meatloaf video for my Mark's Easy Kitchen. I recorded that night, and I'm still working on that. So I've had a lot of videos in progress. I recorded 4 videos in one day. Not the whole entire thing. But, for instance, my kitchen videos, all the actual cooking, I record that separately than do like a voiceover type thing. So I got all the actual cooking stuff done. And I also recorded the video for this here. This is really good. It's made from corn chips, peanut butter, corn syrup, and sugar. And I drizzled some chocolate on, some coconut. I put my own twist on it. I had some coconut to it. But it's so delicious. And what's interesting is I did something I hadn't done before. I simultaneously, when I recorded this video for this, I set up another camera, my phone. I use my phone to record a short. And I'm going to use that footage to make a short ASMR and a short for my kitchen video as well. So I'm up to my neck in videos right now. And when I look at my computer, there's just, all kinds of, clips and footage. It's mind-boggling, very overwhelming and frustrating, but I love it. Absolutely love it. To me, it's not even like work at all. I remember watching an interview with Robert Bateman. Robert Bateman is a world-renowned wildlife painter. Paints beautiful, beautiful pictures of wildlife. He's actually been criticized because his pictures are so real looking. They're almost too real looking that you almost think it was a photograph. So Robert Bateman lives on one of the neighboring islands called Salt Spring Island. And I was watching an interview with him one day on TV. He was talking about his career as a painter and how much he loved it. And he said, either I've never worked a day in my life or I've never had a day off. And I thought that pretty much summed it up. In other words, to him, it didn't really feel like work. I'm trying not to make too much noise with this fork. I have a couple of people occasionally say, why do you use a plastic fork or plastic knife? But it's because, like, when I just dropped that recently, it's very noisy, clanging. I don't realize how noisy it is because this Yeti picks up everything. There's a sand truck out there right now. You can probably hear it. Or it's going now, I think. But the meatloaf turned out really good. But when I shoot all that footage, like I said, I have to shoot all the actual cooking, do a voiceover, then match all the cooking, all those clips up with my voice, and that's actually the fun part. And then I record the part where I'm eating, where I'm actually tasting it, after it comes out of the oven or out of the fridge, and I do that part first. And then the part where I introduce it, where I say, Chef Mark here from Mark's Easy Kitchen, and I start the video, I do that second. So it's not recorded in sequence, and it's never recorded all in the same day. It's over a period of about 3 days. Where the recording's done in about 2 days, the editing is a third day or fourth day, quite often, more than that. I don't want to drop that and make a big noise. Little kids sure love snow. Especially if it's a snow day and there's no school. I remember years ago, it snowed like the dickens. And got all 3 kids up to go to school. Got them all dressed, all bundled up. They started heading out. And we'd been listening to the radio, see if there'd been any closures. Sure enough, they went through list of schools that were closed, and their schools on the list. So I remember going to the front door, and they were just walking out of the driveway. I said, "Hey, come back. You're not going to school. School's canceled for today." It was like they'd won the lottery. They just couldn't believe it. Not only did they not have to go to school, but they got to play in the snow all day. So that was good. Okay, so yes, here. Fantastic. That there is my corn chip candy bar. Now you might think something with corn chips would be kind of weird. When I told Linda I was going to make this, I told her the ingredients. She looked at me and said, "That sounds really gross." And I think I said something sarcastic. Well, thanks for being my cheerleader. But anyways, when I made it, I brought her home a fairly big piece so her and the grandkids could try it. I gave a piece to my son, and she couldn't stop eating it. It's sweet and salty. I like the texture. It's chewy and crunchy. This will go good with coffee. The other day, a couple days ago, woke up. It wasn't snowing that day. It was a beautiful day. Went to back of the driveway. I knew right away something was wrong. And I thought I got a flat tire. Went out and sure enough, my rear passenger tire was flat as a pancake. Now there's a tire store just down the end of the street that I always go to. Now a few years ago, Linda bought me this little inflator. You plug it into your what we used to call cigarette lighter, but you know those little, what do they call them, little adapters, charger adapter or something. And you plug it in there, and this thing will just pump up your tire. It's fairly slow, but it works very efficiently. And I think I'd used it once or twice. I when she bought it for me for Christmas, I had the truck in my car for about 2 years before I ever used it. Then I used it once or twice, so the other day I needed it, so I fired my car, plugged it in, I left my car running just to make sure not to drain the battery. I got a good battery, but I just didn't want to take a chance because I didn't want to have two issues to deal with all of a sudden, right? So it pumped it up within a few minutes. It was fully inflated. It has a little gauge there, so 32 pounds, psi. So and then I just hopped in the car, took it right down the street to the tire place, and they changed it, so no problem. And I bought the tires there, so they guaranteed us to change it for free. Or didn't change it, I'm sorry, they fixed it. So it's handy to have something out the trunk of your car. Really handy. I remember times when I had to take the tire off myself, jack it up, take it off. Used to be in my old neighborhood, there used to be a gas station about 3 blocks away I was a much younger man then. But if I didn't have that tire inflator, I'd have had to taken it off, have Linda drive me down there, and blah, blah, blah. This way is so much easier. There it is, my dear friends, my lasagna and my corn chip candy bar. The lasagna is already on my Mark's Easy Kitchen channel, and the corn chip candy bar will be soon, and the meatloaf will be all within the next couple of weeks. So thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, if I don't get back to your comments right away, it's because, it's probably because of the snow or something like that, but you know I always do eventually. So you look after yourselves. I thank you for your continuous support, and you take care, my friends. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Stay amazing out there in the land of awesome.